Unleashed Voice. The Unleashed Voice for the LGBTQ community. Featuring my mama, Gwen GQ, and David Skeeter Clemens. Ow! Let me hear that, boy!
You're on. That's good.
Ow! This is the S to the K to the double E to the T to the E to the R. Sitting here with the G to the Q. And we're in the house right now. And calling the party, I've been waiting on you at the door. And we are fired up.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we have a full house right here at AM 990 KWAM studio. We have a full house. We have Soul Shy Entertainment up in here. What's up, Shy? We got Speaker Cash.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
We got a full house in here. We're excited. We're excited about tonight and the big show that's going down over at 5959 Winchester. But before we go into all of that, I need to tell our listeners, and maybe our first-time listeners, about the Unleashed Voice for the LGBTQ community radio show. Our mission is to spread our three core principles: education, empowerment, and enrichment. We are a nonprofit entity that is founded to help us spread our expertise on healthy relationship, peer-to-peer mentoring, and life coaching. The Unleashed Voice radio show is our brick to reaching a broader audience and to building a better society that is void of discrimination, prejudices, and inequality. It's our hopes that some of the information we present or presented while on the air will cause you to ask more relevant questions about the world around you. Right now, we're going to dive right into our segment, What's on Your Mind? What's on your mind, son?
Well, Selma, Alabama's on my mind. Bloody Sunday. Our great president of the United States gave a speech today in Selma, Alabama, and he talked about how Selma, Alabama opened the doors for everyone. And it opened the doors for you and I and all the people that are sitting in here today. And the question that he asked was, how did you repay the debt to Selma? And he talked about how our work is never done. And he talked about how we must protect the right to vote and how we have some of the lowest rates of voting right for free people. And he asked, what was the excuse for not voting? And so my question is to people who are listening, to the ones in this room, how do we repay the debt for Selma, to Selma, for the lives that were sacrificed, for the individuals who walked for the Voting Right Act, for the individuals who gave their lives for us? How do we repay that debt to Selma? And I'm repaying that debt right now because I stand up for equality for all people. And many times we get our lives twisted. We think being gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, queer is all there is to society and to your life, and that's a lie. Your life is worth more than your sexual orientation or your sexuality. My sexuality is only 5% of me, maybe 3%. But my point to it is, you have a life. You were put here for a reason. And if you don't find your purpose of your gift in life, your life is meaningless. And the graveyard has more people, more talented people than any other place on this earth, because a lot of people have been buried with their gifts and their talent and afraid to show and do what God has put them here to do. So ask yourself that question: how can I repay those who sacrificed for me back in society? And that's what is on my mind today.
Yeah, you got real deep. It got quiet in here too.
I know. Say ouch.
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 It got quiet in here, literally. Like, and you know, that's the purpose of, one of the purposes of the radio show. We want to make you mildly uncomfortable. And what I mean by that, we want to trigger thought. We want to engage into your intellect. We want you to be able to sit down and have philosophical conversations. And instead of watching television all the time, get you a group of friends and have a meeting, and y'all sit around and tell each other y'all vision that went over somebody's head. But I'm going to say it again. Instead of watching television all the time, get you a group of friends. Call them over to your house, and you guys sit around and tell each other your vision. Tell a vision. So do that sometime, and then provoke thought. Provoke thought, and also understand that there are 2 reasons that people are born. 2 reasons.
What's the reasons?
I was waiting on somebody to ask me. You want to know, you got your birthday. And then the bigger thing, you got your death date. And those are 2 reasons. And in between that is your dash. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
That's
you got
good.
a birthday and a death day. There was a book written about that. I didn't know until my friend Shy told me that. But it was I don't know where it came from. Shy, I never read the book and never heard anything about it. But what are you doing between your dash? And for me, I plan to do a lot of things. I've been asleep a long time, but now I'm awake. And it's kind of like when you wake that sleeper giant up, and all of a sudden you begin to realize that I am relevant. Things are more important to me now than they've ever been in my life. I have an urgency about myself, and I don't know what it is, but it's something bothering me. It's deep down in my soul. And I understand the people in Selma, but you know, we had this big debate on the way here. And one of the things that we talked about is that most people, I don't want to generalize, they never getting vote until something happens to them. It takes that moment for them to become the victim to realize how important racism and discrimination is and prejudices is. So that's what it's going to take the black people to understand that all lives do matter. And it shouldn't take for another child to die for people to get angry and want to go out and protest and vote. All you have to do is sit around and put your TV on CNN and BBC sometime, and you look at the laws and the things that's going on around this country. Believe it or not, as much progress we make, you got a group of people that's trying to pull us back. They do not want to see the advancement of any group or any minority that will sooner or later become equal to them. They do not want to see it. It's happening all around us, and it's really in the deep south, and it's sad.
Well, I don't think it's in the deep south. I think it's all the above. It's everywhere.
It's really here. You see these states that's passing these discrimination laws, the right to discriminate. And they're passing them left and right all through the House because they know that when the Supreme Court finished dismantling this same-sex marriage law, what's going to happen, and they're afraid. And that's usually what happens anytime you have any kind of social movement that sooner or later begin to come alive and understand that I do have a right and I do have a voice, and when we come together, we're so strong. We're much stronger than when we're apart.
Well, there it is. Whoop, there it is.
Yeah, y'all got me, my eyes all tight. I done got serious in here for a minute. But we really gonna lighten this moment up right now, because you done got this move just dropped. You gotta come back up. I need you to play. I've been waiting on you at the door.
No, not yet. I got this young tenderoni sitting beside me with this 6-pack and these finger waves. I got caught in the body and I got Scout over here.
Yeah.
Caught in the body, fine. Wait a minute. Say hey to the Unleashed World, Carter.
Hello, Unleashed World. I appreciate you guys for having me here. Seriously.
You sound like you're from the Bronx.
Really? No, actually, I lost my voice over the weekend, so.
Hey, anybody that maybe can't make it to Deuces tonight, you can go on our website, www.relationshipunleashed. Click on the link. You can live stream into the studio, get you a full glimpse of Carter. You can wave at the listeners.
Hopefully you guys can make it tonight.
Yes, in case you can't make it, you can see her and we're going to talk. We have about 15 seconds before we take our first break. Do not leave, because when we come back, we're going to dive all in Carter the body business.
That did not sound right. That sounds nasty.
That
sounds whole back.
Lord.
You got an old lady at home. You got an old lady. Watch it, Sean.
We're going to dive in your business.
Oh, Lord.
That's all right with me.
Oh, Lord. Oh. Elizabeth, I'm coming to Georgia. Oh, Lord. We're going to take a pause for the calls. This is the Unleashed Voice on KWAM 990 Talk Radio.
Kurt, you clear.